A up. Now then, let's have a look at a few pet peeves of mine when it comes to working the heavy bag. I always say, heavy bag, heavy work. Heavy bag, heavy work. And this is what I see from people all the time, even good level fighters. There's the bag, and this is how they approach it. And then they start hitting it. They just walk up to it. How often, be honest, in training, in sparring, in a fight, everything else, can you just walk up to something and just start hitting it? You've got to work your way in. That's one thing. So when you approach the bag, I want you to think about working your way in and visualize that you're finding your way into your target before you start hitting the bag. Then, another pet peeve of mine is that this bag is always roughly stationary apart from a little bit of movement from where it's being hit. Look at the old school, and that bag would be moving all over the place, and they would move around the bag and do everything around the bag. So that they're moving, following the bag, moving away from it. And if it stops moving, they get it moving again. And they work the bag. They work it. So that they're always working. I see people, they've done whatever they're doing, they stop, they come off, go back on. They're not really working, are they? They think they are, and they think they're good. Now, it doesn't matter if everybody's doing the same. If your opponent just works the same as you, and does everything the same as you, and they don't move their head offline, they stay there rock solid, and just do the same crap as you, don't matter. It makes for a decent fight for people to watch who don't know. They just like to see people tear lumps out of each other. But when you're looking for skills and movement and abilities in all sorts of areas, you watch it and you're thinking, woof, this is no good. They might be high level, so to speak, but they're not compared to the old school. Which reminds me, by the way, old school thing. We don't normally ask these sort of things, but get yourself subscribed. A lot of people don't do it. In fact, most of you don't. Get it subscribed. Hurry up, do it now. Otherwise I'll stop the lesson right here. Go on, get it done. Anyway, so on this bag, these pet peeves of mine doing all that, you've got to cut all them out. And the other one I see is that when people have finished hitting, whatever it is, they just stop and move off. Well, you know, if you're in a fight with somebody and you finish hitting and you just stop and move off, what are they going to do? If me and you are in a fight and I've gone like that, finish hitting, I put my hands down and move backwards, what are you going to do? You twat me one in the face, aren't you? You're asking to be knocked out. So what I say, what I preach and teach is that when you finish whatever it is you're doing on the bag, it doesn't matter what it is, keep yourself defended on the way out. Keep yourself defended on the way out. That might be as simple as ducking under and keeping yourself guarded on the way out. It might be that you're throwing jabs on the way out, moving off at angles. It might be that you finish and you hold on because you've been hurt. There's lots of ways of keeping yourself safe when you've finished doing whatever you're doing on the bag. Even if you're just practicing jab, cross, hook to the body, and I see people doing it all the time. They do the 1, the 2, the hook, and then they're back here like that, and then they go again. 1, 2, hook, back here again. There's no thought of how to get there. No thought of the entry to get to your 1, 2, 3, and then the exit from the 1, 2, 3. There's no thought given to that. And yet that's the most important aspect, isn't it? Because it doesn't matter how hard you punch, no matter how good your punches are, if you can't enter, if you can't get the entry right, if you can't enter to land them, it don't matter, does it? And if they don't land good and you exit bad, you're on your way to La La Land, aren't you? So, you've got to make sure that you enter to the bag properly. You keep yourself defended at all times. You enter, visualize correctly, whatever it is, even if it's just a simple jab, bam, and then come back out again. Keep yourself concentrated all the time. Head off line. Move around all the time. Full, total concentration. Instead of just blindly walking up and jab, 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 jab. Nah, it's no good. Doing it for fitness, don't care what you do. If you think you're a fighter, got to do it right. Anyway, that's enough for now. Some pet peeves on the bag. Hope you don't make those mistakes. Catch you on the next one.